Hey everybody, today I'm going to show you how to make a tie rod for an early Ford front end. So in previous videos, I showed you how we split the wishbones and how we dropped the axle. Now we're going to build a tie rod from here to here. And we're going to build it out of 7/8 by 120 wall DOM tubing and 2 early Ford tie rod ends. These tie rod ends are 11/16 by 18 thread. We get a left-hand thread and a right-hand thread. So we get a left-hand thread tap and a right-hand thread tap. So by using 7/8 120 wall, we got 7/8 overall diameter. 120 wall is basically 1/8 of an inch. So if you've got 7/8 minus 1/8 minus a 2/8, we have an inside diameter of 5/8, which is the correct size to thread these. Remove the wishbones just to make it a little bit easier. Now we're going to take these tie rods ends, once I put them in the right direction, and we need to get a measurement from here to here. So let's thread these guys in, and then we'll grab a tape measure. It should be right behind me, and get a measurement. Where did it? There's my tape measure. Okay, so we want that kind of, oh, it doesn't want to stay now. We'll just eyeball it because it's adjustable. That's the whole point of threading the ends. So that looks about right. That looks about right. Our tape measure says 41. Actually, let's go a little bit further in. Let's make it 41.5, and that should put the end of our tubing about halfway up on the threaded part here, which should give us lots of adjustment for in and out, for your toe in and toe out. So let's cut that piece. Okay, so now that that's cut, I put it in the vise. I got this cool little aluminum dealio thing that goes in the vise to clamp round things. I don't even know where I got that thing from, but it's super cool. Anyways, now that it's all clamped up in the vise, we have to thread it. So we've got our 11/16 by 18 right-hand thread tap, and basically we need to put it in there. And the absolute hardest part of this is getting it to start straight. If you're like a real machinist and have a lathe, that's a lot easier. I don't have a lathe, so I just got to do it this way, nice and careful. That looks pretty good. Got a little bit of lube on there. This isn't cutting fluid, it's just WD-40 with a broken lid, but it works. It's better than nothing. Come on, get on there. There we go. Okay, so now let's thread this in there. Go a little bit, go back a little bit. Go a little bit more forward, a little bit back more. So we're all the way to the bottom. Okay, so with that threaded all the way in and all the way out, we can now put the tie rod in. If you're wondering how deep I went, you'll notice, so here's our tie rod end, and it's got this much thread is the maximum that can go, which is basically the same amount of thread as on here. So what I did was threaded this in until all the threads were gone, and then I went a little bit further, and that should be good. So let's thread this guy in. Always use anti-seize on these. Lots of anti-seize. Because these things, if they seize up in there, it's a nightmare to align your front end after. Ho ho, look at that. Look at that. Isn't that amazing? Okay, now Let's stop about there. We can jam that up for now. Let's stop about there, and we'll do the other side, left-hand thread. Okay, so there's the left side all threaded in. You can kind of see there about how deep I go. So now we can thread it out and put the tie rod end in. Okay, so that's out. I usually just clean these up with a little bit of brake clean. Put your safety glasses on when you use brake clean. Mine are on the bench. Wipe that down, put that away, and the other tie rod end is still in the front end, so we might as well just go over there and put it in. Okay, so with these threaded in, now we can install the tie rod. That guy just slides up. Naturally, I put the left-hand side on the left-hand side. You don't really have to do that, but just kind of makes sense, at least to me. Okay, this guy can go up in here. And there we have it, a tie rod. Okay, now I'll show you how to set the toe in and toe out, even though it's all gonna have to get changed again because these steering arms need to be heated and bent. So let's see where we're at here. Boom, boom, boom. That is 47. And this is 49 3/4. So now let's back up a bit. You're probably wondering why this side's left-hand thread, this side's right-hand thread. Why not make them both right-hand thread? Well, if you set them both right-hand thread, if you want to adjust this at all, you have to take one side apart and thread them out, put it back together. It's a huge pain in the ass. If you make one side reverse thread, being left-hand thread, all you have to do is spin this like that. You can see these guys moving out like that. Spin it one way, they go out. Spin it the other way, they go in. I really wish guys that build aftermarket 4-link systems would build their 4-link bars like this. That'd be so nice, but they don't. Maybe I will. Okay, let's see where we're at. So that is not quite 48. And that is just a touch over 49. So let's go a little more. See where that's at. Oh, Doris, come here. Oh. Look who came and joined us. It's because it's almost the end of the day, which means park time. Not yet though. We gotta finish this. Okay, where are we at here? That is 48. 48 3/4, just about. See where we're at. $48 1/8. $48 5/8. Getting in the ballpark. $48 almost 3/8. Let's go a little bit more. Let's just make it 3/8. 48 3/8. 48 1/2, which should do it. Wait, no, we gotta go a little bit further. I'm backwards here. Okay, a little bit more. That is 48 1/2. This is, oh, my gut's moving it. Straighten that out again. 48 and a half, and 48 and 3/8, which is probably pretty close. Close enough for now. So like I said, this all has to come apart again. These steering arms, see how they're touching right here? That's from when we dropped the axle. All this obviously moved up. So now these hit. Also, if I still had the wishbones on, this tie rod end would be going right through the middle of the wishbones. So what we're gonna do in an upcoming video is I'll show you how to heat and bend these steering arms for steering clearance and wishbone clearance. But in the meantime, this is basically how you build a tie rod. To stop this from moving now, you take these little jam nuts, and tighten them up. Okay. And once those are tight, obviously more than hand tight, then this won't move anymore, which means you can drive down the road and your wheels will stay straight. When you do this, you always want like an 1/8" toe in. And the reason for that is, what I mean by toe in is the front of the wheels toe in like that, as opposed to toe out where the front of the wheels toe out. I always set these up with an 1/8" toe in, and the reason I do that is to take up a little bit of slack. There's obviously a little bit of wiggle room in here, a little bit of wiggle room in here. So by setting an 1/8" in, kind of when you start driving and there's the resistance on the wheels, it kind of works itself out, if that makes sense. Okay, that about concludes this video. I just want to thank my friend Bruce Donnellan, who called me after seeing the dropped axle video. Bruce is a cameraman. That's what he does for a living. And when he's not building or shooting with his camera, he builds awesome hot rods. He's from Washington. But anyways, yeah, he called me after the dropped axle video and gave me like a bunch of like filming tips and stuff, which I've used on this video. So hopefully they worked. In the meantime, I hope you enjoyed learning how to build a tie rod. If you were to build a drag link, it's basically the exact same thing. If you like this stuff, please drop by the website, lgspeedkustom.com. The link is in the bio, as always. And yeah, I've got lots of cool shirts there. Shirts, some parts. I'm starting to manufacture more hot rod parts. As those become a thing, they will go up on the website. But in the meantime, I've got men's shirts, ladies' shirts, all sorts of shirts. If you like what you're seeing here, please buy a shirt, support more great stuff like this. Anyways, thanks for watching.